All right, and on to the Mid-Cap Masala show. Let's get started with the first management onto the show, and let's put the spotlight on Greenply. The company did come out with a robust earnings, and just after the earnings, we have seen a sharp surge coming in on the stock price as well. But what's the outlook going ahead? Let's understand all of that in detail, and for this, we are being joined by Sanidhya Mittal, who is the Joint Managing Director of Greenply Industries, joining us on the show. Hi, very good morning, Mr. Mittal, and thank you so much for your time. And first up, let's talk about your earnings then, because you have reported a very strong numbers in Q4. I can see your revenue growing 20% YOY, EBITDA margins also expanded to 12%. But help us understand that going ahead, how sustainable are these growth numbers and what factors will be at play?
So, good morning and thank you for inviting me to the show. I think the company's performed well in the last quarter. Going forward, we've given a guidance for a double-digit volume growth for the entire year on the plywood business. As far as the MDF business is concerned, we've given a higher double-digit growth, something between 20 and 30%. And we feel the outlook will remain the same because we've been able to pass on all the costs related to the war and the chemical costs going up, mainly in our sector. So we've been able to successfully pass that off within, April itself.
Okay.
So going forward, growth and margin looks to be in line with our guidance.
Okay. Mr. Mittal, hi, morning. This is Snehi also joining in. Just wanted some clarity on the MDF growth guidance. While your plywood volume growth was 16% in Q4 and double-digit growth is something that you have guided for over there, just trying to understand what the outlook is for MDF, because if I'm not wrong, that grew about 45% in terms of volumes in Q4 and you're guiding for this number to be in 30s. Any reason for this moderation in your guidance?
So we are the constraint capacity for us. So we have one line of MDF, and I think this is the maximum growth possible given the given capacity. Sometime in the middle of next financial year, we'll have another facility, then we can probably grow at a much faster pace in MDF. But today, even though there is a market and Greenply is a strong player in terms of a home-known brand, but because of capacity, I think that's the maximum we can sell.
All right, but Mr. Mittal, help us understand about the outlook on timber prices. If you can just help us with how the timber prices were back in Q4 and going ahead in FY27, how do you see the fluctuation happening?
So I think we are looking at timber prices being stable and slightly inching downwards because our dependency is majorly on domestic timber. And domestic timber is coming from farmlands of India. So in that case, we are very comfortable. We do not see any costs changing there or any cost pressure coming up. And on the demand supply side, I think we are on the good side right now. We've already seen shortage of timber for the last couple of years. And Greenply has been doing great plantation. So because of that initiative also, every catchment near our factory, I think we have enough raw material, enough sustainability, whether it's Nagaland or Gujarat or any of the states in which we are operational. In fact, we had 100 million vision and we've already crossed 90 million capex.
Okay, that sounds really positive. Mr. Mittal, I'm trying to understand now that you're saying that the raw material pricing is in your favor. Are you going to be taking any price cuts in the near future since everything on ground is stable? And if so, any impact on your margins?
No, not at all. There's no price cut plans. I think prices should also be stable, given that the war is like this. But no plans to cut prices for sure.
All right, but Mr. Mittal, one of the tough questions, but I have to ask this, that there were some reports of IT department raid at some of your units. Give us some understanding, where are we on that front and how is this process being taken up?
So I think we had informed the exchange and even on the earnings call I had mentioned it to the investors that in our premises, there was nothing, whether it was documents or cash, which was seized. And I feel it was a wrong intel because of which they had come to Greenply. So there's no financial liability on Greenply in the initial search as of now.
Okay, understood. And let's move away from that, Mr. Mittal. Now that you're saying that everything is good on ground in terms of demand and the kind of raw material availability, you have talked to us about your capex plans for FY27. What's the amount earmarked for that, if you can throw some light on that?
So I think we have a large capex plan. I think almost 500 crores plus of capex, in which mainly in two units. I think one is Odisha Plywood and Vadodara MDF. So these are the two units currently under construction and close to around 500 crores. This includes maintenance capex as well as capex for Odisha and Vadodara and the new units.
All right, and along with that, Mr. Mittal, I believe that for hardware, JV with Summit is expected to break even somewhere in the middle of FY28. I believe that this is still some time from now, but give us some understanding that once this integration is through, how your financials are expected to get a boost?
So I think, Summit is it's a precision engineering category where to sell hardware in India. So this hardware is of global standards. So we meet all the global standards as well as we meet the Indian BIS. And there are hardly few companies producing hardware in India. Greenply Summit, our JV, is proudly a company producing in India since day one. So out of the 8 broad product groups, there are 3 product groups that we produce in India today. The balance product groups are imported. So over the next year and a half, all 5 products group that are imported today will also start getting produced here. That gross margins are going to expand and the business will start seeing, closer to no profit, no loss somewhere in the middle of next year, break even somewhere in the middle of next financial year.
Okay, that sounds good. On that note, Mr. Mittal, we'll let you go. Congratulations on a robust set of numbers for Q4 and good luck for the financial year to come.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for your time today. Okay, viewers, on that note, time to slip into a very short